Feel it, Harry? It's our big chance.
Hair today, gone tomorrow. Justin Trudeau's new, much shorter haircut is compared to Jim Carrey's bowl cut in Dumb and Dumber after the Canadian PM's years of sporting, flowing locks. And the memes are coming in right now. They are endless and they are juicy. But of course, who really cares about the man's hair when he is literally destroying the country? That is actually trending right now on Twitter, Canadian Twitter, number 7 trend, Trudeau destroying Canada. And again, it's filled with all sorts of good information about, and memes and funny stuff too, about what exactly he's doing to this country. And it's not just Canadians who are recognizing what's going on. Other people are around the world as well. Joe Rogan recently just came out saying they're effed. Joe Rogan says Canada is a communist now, being led by an effing dictator. And this is the Angus Reid Institute's Trudeau tracker. And his approval rating as of June of 2022, we see here there are 3% who are unsure, 38% approve of what he's doing, and 59% of Canadians currently disapprove of what the Canadian Prime Minister is doing. That's a pretty big telling number, ladies and gentlemen, and they're going into damage control with ridiculous pieces like this. Look at this. Prime Minister mobbed by admirers at the Stampede Pancake Breakfast. Really? Really? Let's see and listen to what that actually looked and sounded like, shall we?
Great to see so many people understand you. So happy people here. I'm glad to hear that my son Xavier as well. I know that lots of your families as well.
Does that sound like, what do they say, being mobbed by admirers? I mean, this is how he's been getting greeted pretty much everywhere he goes for a while now. I put this tweet out. It's got 135,000 views, a bit of a viral tweet, and I titled it, Trudeau Gets the Welcome He Deserves. And this was him showing up in Vancouver. When was this? Just in March of this year. And just listen to them. Yeah. Yeah, he is constantly getting the welcoming he actually deserves, and now it's to the point he's canceling shows, like an Trudeau event at a brewery has just been canceled because of apparent convoy protesters, oh no, who are set outside these dangerous and scary Canadian flags and farmers' tractors. Oh no, what a pathetic leader, if you can call him that, guys. So we're going to talk about all that and much more in today's video, but just before we do, I'd ask that you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you do appreciate my efforts to bring you all this info really quickly. Here you can do PayPal, you can do Bitcoin by clicking on that banner. You could join me on Subscribestar, which is a great Patreon alternative. I have been kicked off of Patreon. There's other cryptocurrencies here. You can sign up also for monthly recurring contribution there. You can send an e-transfer to Dan at pressfortruth.ca, or you can send cash or checks or equipment or simply just words of encouragement. If you like to keep things old school, that can be sent to my P.O. box. Once again, guys, links for all of this are located in the description below. So, as we said, obviously the memes are going around right now because of this funny, stupid haircut. Maybe the barber, whoever did this, is currently the national hero right now for for exposing this moron as being much like the Dumb and Dumber character. But in all seriousness, Trudeau is destroying Canada, is trending right now. And as I said, that's because people are starting to truly see it for what it is. Let's take a look at what Rogan had to say. And, you know, whether you like him or not, Joe Rogan does have one of the world's largest podcasts. I think it might be the world's largest podcast. So he has a lot of people listening to this. And he just, said he's not holding back on his thoughts about the Canadian Prime Minister, saying that people in that country are effed because Canada is communist and living under an effing dictator. During the Joe Rogan Experience, on Thursday on Spotify. The host was speaking with comedian and author Tom Segura about the COVID lockdowns and regulations in Canada, and he admitted that before the pandemic, he actually liked Trudeau. Rogan said he thought the Prime Minister was previously a cool guy. He says now, though, that Canada is communist. The podcast host told his guest, they're effed. They got to get rid of that guy. Segura asked, how much time does Trudeau have left as Prime Minister, stating that he seemed to be in charge for a while. Rogan admitted he doesn't really know their system, how it works, but he reiterated that Trudeau is no good. I just liked him, he explained. I liked him before the pandemic. I was like, he's a handsome guy, good-looking guy, confident talker. And during the pandemic, I'm like, oh, you're a effing dictator. And, you know, it was, to a large extent, the flowing locks of hair that people liked about the guy so much, just like Rogan admitted here. He says, oh, you don't like criticism? He added, you're trying to shut down criticism by saying that all your critics are misogynist and racist. You hear he said that about the trucking people? The truckers. He called them all misogynists and racists. Yeah, he's gross, the podcaster continued. He's a sketchy guy. He's got some effing shaky deals. I'd like to see where the money is coming from. And, you know, I exposed exactly that a long, long time ago, guys. I've been trying to warn the world about this, man. If you go and do a search for just the word Trudeau on my channel, 48 different entries come up. You go back here to 2012, you know, the first time I confronted him in 2012, and then when he was selected as the leader of the Liberal Party, I'm exposing that this man is being groomed for the position of Prime Minister. And then before he became Prime Minister, I put out the Trudeau Deception, guys. The Trudeau Deception, right here. Let me just move this over. It's got 273,000 views on YouTube right now. And this really dealt with how Trudeau was going to use the legalization of cannabis in Canada as his ticket into gaining support from Canadian voters. But then I go on to further expose him in this piece, the Trudeau Foundation exposed. Again, we're going back to 2016 here. 279,000 views on this one as well. The Trudeau Foundation exposed. And indeed, I get into it. I explain where the money is coming from, how this all, you know, works, who he's connected to. And as I said, been trying to warn people about this for such a long time. But at any rate, hopefully people are starting to listen now. But you know, had Joe Rogan had seen something like that back then, maybe he wouldn't be so curious about where all the money's coming from now. Why do you want everybody to get injected every 4 months? They don't need that anymore. Yeah, remember when Trudeau was saying, like, he gets a good feeling, and he got this crazy look in his eyes. He's like, I just love the vaccine. It makes me, I get a rush from it. The guy is insane. Rogan noted that a person can't even get into Canada right now unless they're vaccinated, and he slammed the restrictions as old. It's 2022. Almost to take a line out of Trudeau, who once, when he was asked, why did you make your cabinet 50% women? He said, because it's 2015. Literally, not because they're qualified or I did my due diligence into seeing who's the right person for the job. No. Because it's the current year, everybody. It's not the first time the host has ripped the country's leader, previously saying that Trudeau had demonized the unvaccinated. Trudeau described those who hadn't taken the COVID vaccine as very often misogynistic and racist. People who don't believe in science or progress. I mean, what does beliefs have to do with science anyway? Science is all about skepticism, rigorous testing. It has nothing to do with faith or beliefs at all. What a ridiculous thing to say for the leader of the country to say. The way that Trudeau talks about people who are unvaccinated, they're just misogynists and racists, he said. You, Trudeau, are deciding, you're taking people that have a perspective on a medical intervention, and you're deciding that you're going to demonize them in the worst possible ways with no evidence. And indeed he has. And it's been brutal on the Canadian people. If you look right now at this Trudeau destroying Canada trend right now, you'll probably come across this video, which is starting to get a lot more attention. And this is a girl who posted this on TikTok. It's her 86-year-old senior father who doesn't have a cell phone. And they're trying to arrive in the country, and the customs are saying that they're going to have to put his info on the daughter's app. But she doesn't want to do that, and the father is going to be traveling alone, and he doesn't have a phone. Yet they're still harassing these people. It's just crazy, guys. I'll put a link to this in the description below if you do want to check that out. But Trudeau is destroying Canada, trending right now. As I said, 59, almost 60% disapproval rating. I tried to warn this about this way back in the day, exposing also where the money came from, and here we are now to the point where everybody just absolutely hates this man. He's being heckled everywhere he goes, and he has to cancel events because of some farmers who have the Canadian flag showing up. It's just absolutely insane. But I just wanted to bring all that to your attention today, guys, because I mean, the man was, raised with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was groomed as a baby to be in this position that he's currently in. He's a social justice warrior. He's a feminist, and not the good kind. He's one of these extremist feminists. He's a trans rights activist. He brings his children to the gay pride parades. I confronted him about that. He changed the lyrics of Canada's national anthem from "In All Our Sons" commands to "In All of Us" command, to try to be more inclusive. It's just beyond time for the man to go. But if you think that voting in somebody else, like Poilievre or whoever you think is going to be the controlled opposition, is the answer, you better think again. This is the same thing I was warning about when everybody was hating on Harper, and just clamoring for anybody but him. And along came the fresh, young, flowing locks of hair, Justin Trudeau, promising to legalize weed, and everybody just bought it up. And look how much they hate him now. They don't see the cycles that I've been seeing over the various prime ministers over the years. So, anyways, just wanted to bring that to your attention. If you're probably asking, okay, if democracy is a scam, then what? Well, I would suggest you watch my documentary series called The Democracy Deception. I made a 5-part video series, and then I followed that up many years later with The Democracy Deception Part 2, which really gets into depth about what I think could be an alternative option other than what we currently have. So please check those out if you haven't already. Don't forget to check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Once again, if you appreciate my efforts to bring you all this information, links for all of that are going to be located in the description below on whatever platform you happen to be watching this video on, whether it's Odyssey or BitChute or Minds or Rumble or Bastion or Float or Hive. Wherever you happen to be watching this, I will have all the source links in the description of that video. So be sure to check it out. And that's all for today, guys. Once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button. Share this video with your friends and family who you think need to see it the most. And stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.